So seventh pick in the 2023 NBA draft goes to the Indiana Pacers. And they're in an interesting position where, last season for maybe the first 30 or so games, there was a legitimate push. They were in the mix for a little bit. Tyrese Haliburton clearly a beneficiary of the trade, the extra minutes, responsibility, having a 20 and 10 season and being recognized as an all-star. And then he went out with injury, and it's always difficult to know, is it an injury or is it just like a hey, like we've seen enough and we need to see what the offseason holds. But to yield them the seventh pick, and I'm saying that they should go with Star Thompson. This is the brother or twin. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that family tree of Amen Thompson, and people regard him as the less talented one, I guess, or the lower projected one, but they're still both top tens. Um, Really, it's just, when you're at this phase, when you got young players and you're trying to collect talent, that's the way to do it. It'll be a reasonably priced contract, and that's all good. Halliburton, you need to extend him. You need to offer him whatever contract it is. I think that's definitely the piece that you want to have on the books. And then obviously the last one, it's not interesting on this one. It's Turner for Bogdan and Bagley. So obviously sometimes we'll get doubles here, or at least in my experience, if I've ordered a trade for one team, it's going to occur on the other trade. So this was Miles Turner going to Detroit for Bogdan and Bagley. So Bagley being the big to be youth and hopefully kind of live up to some of that potential. Bogdan going home, and then maybe being a bit of a piggyback, or I guess like sorry, no, pogo stick in terms of goes to Indiana and then maybe on Indiana as a short-term rental to flip for something else.
So who's going to Indiana? Bagley and Bogdanovic. Is that right?
Bagley and Bogdanovich, because the idea of Bagley going there was to free up Wiseman for the Detroit front line to pair with Miles Turner. So
All right, I get you. Hey, look, you're absolutely right. The Pacers, for first half of the season, suddenly had a bit of excitement in their part of the world that maybe they're gonna make the playoffs, and maybe they're on the up, which they are definitely are. I think they're trading bonus for Tyrese Haliburton has been a huge win for both clubs ultimately. And Haliburton 20 and 10 last year, and he's still extremely young. He's only going to really get better long as he stays healthy. So that's the first thing I've got here is that they need to extend Tyrese Haliburton's contract, really lock him up. I think if they get a chance to add 3 or 4 more years there, definitely do so, and hopefully get him available for say 70 games at least. I think he played for about 55 or so games last year. Which then when he went out of the lineup, suddenly they began to sort of lose a whole bunch of games in a row. And when he came back for a couple of games before I think they shut him down, ultimately they're already sort of out of the playoff race by that point. So I think, look, Tyrese Haliburton is their corner franchise, franchise cornerstone there that they really need to focus to lock up and build around. The next start here is probably, Benedict Mathurin. Again, first half of the season, he was real hot cost prospect, outside chance to maybe rookie of the year. By the end of the time, at the end of the season, he was no longer in the top 3 list. He wasn't actually in the top 3 list at that point. So we're looking for growth. We're looking for growth from Benedict Mathurin. I'm saying this young kid needs to continue to increase his efficiency, and we've seen it done before. And we've seen it not done before. Yeah, we've seen both sides of that coin, right? So I think last year he was averaging 16 or so points a game off on about 43% shooting. Okay, if he can bump that up to 45, 48, closer to 50, I think that's going to go a long way for them to really cement him and Haliburton as the backcourt of the future for the Pacers. And and I guess the last step here really is that I've got a trade here that, to me, it feels like they don't have this sort of player. And if they were to call it OKC Thunder, and they were going to put, and I was looking at the salaries and stuff, and if they were going to put Isaiah Jackson at the Pacers on the trade block and send him to the Thunder for Alex Pokuševski. I don't know if you know that kid, yeah, the tall, lanky guy. That really Thunder don't play him that much, and they obviously got another tall, lanky guy coming in now from hopefully getting healthy now, playing his rookie season. That he could really, he's been productive though. He's been productive in minutes. So if they could sort of swing for a player like that, he probably is the opposite of pairing Miles Turner with Sabonis, which didn't work. Yeah, Sabonis was that paint-bound big man that obviously was a bruiser in the paint. if you could pair him with someone that, let him sort of patrol the paint and pair him out with a sort of a stretch four, someone that can stretch, shoot all the way to the corner three, it could really continue to be a building block for the Pacers there. So look, I think there's a couple of moves there that I'm suggesting here that, sort of takes them maybe to that fringe playoff conversation. Can they make the sort of, I don't know, grab the 5th or 6th spot in the playoffs maybe next year, if especially if Tyrese Haliburton can stay healthy, possibly.
Well, also it kind of harkens. I felt like the next set of teams, I did this a little bit that sitting and waiting. I'm not sure if it's because of the new CBA. I'm not sure if it's just how certain teams have locked themselves up. But young teams, it is the same path it's always been: collect talent, evaluate what you have, and then try to do something out of it. And for Indiana, we would safely say Tyrese Haliburton is a collected keep that talent, and then that's it, really. Everything else is very difficult to assess. So, someone like Pokashevsky, very interesting prospect, has his ups and downs, can produce. Maybe it's worth taking the whirl because, again, what else are you doing? But, I know that the series originally stemmed from how can we best put Indiana in the best possible position next season, but I just don't see how you can pull that off. A lot of teams are really bound in contracts, and it's a difficult free agency
Well,
class. And
it's not like we're pitching every club can just trade for Jokic, right? Jokic or Doncic just trade for him.
well, it's an NBA 2K Force trade is what we're trying to do here. So the package is Turner for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, just to really transform
Makes the
that
Pacers
Indiana backcourt.
slightly better.
Yeah, slightly. Just Hollinger's win projection is like 3, I think. So yeah, it's good.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.